Good morning, good morning, morning. I know this is a cardinal sin when vlogging or streaming to be eating and smacking at the same time, but I'm a tad behind getting to work, and I just got to multitask and condense as much as I can. But I wanted to talk for a minute. If y'all notice, for like, I want to say the past 3 months, I've been going live, and I'm almost done this toast. I've been going live and playing various positive streams in the morning, various positive videos. And that's something I normally do. Like when I go to bed, I always listen to frequencies. It's called binaural beats. And it's just different frequencies that comfort and relax you. And they're supposed to aid different things. Like there's a binaural beat for anything. You can do a binaural beat for stress. You can do a binaural beat for weight loss. You can do for whatever. I don't know if they work or not. I don't know if they're psychosomatic. But the whole point is to... everything starts in the mind. So the whole point is to try to put your mind in a state where you want to get certain things done. Because in a negative aspect, that's what we always do anyway, right? When you what the hell, this motherfucker not even looking, yo. I hate when people drive like that, yo. That shit's crazy, yo. When you when it comes to negativity, we got kind of like, we have negativity bombarding us at all times. We have people doubting us all the times, and usually the person that doubts you the most is your own internal voice. You assume you can't do something, so you don't try. Or you assume you're not good at something, so you don't really try as hard at it. And that starts with an internal mental program. That's where that begins. So I'm almost done. I apologize. If we were constantly bombarded with negativity, putting ourselves down, and just our own internal voice, not just on the outside, but our own internal voice from conditioning, how we've been brought up, you know, and the environments we've been through and things of that nature, that just makes us assume whatever position or station we are in life, this is it. We can't do nothing about it, like on some fate. Like fate just decided for you to have just like a meager, mundane life or a whack life, and we don't try anything. That's all programming. If we were programmed to feel that way, then we can reverse engineer the program. And I think one of the easiest ways to start to reverse engineer whatever negative programming you have is to feed yourself something different in the morning, man. In the morning, whether you drink your coffee, you eat your toast, or whatever, you put something in your body, and you put something in your mind too. You dig? A lot of us, you know, we'll hop right on social media. We'll hop right on social media and TikTok, Facebook, whatever. And we immediately just start looking at negative stuff, man. You didn't even brush your teeth. You didn't even brush your teeth yet, and you want to hear negative news. This person got shot. Not even just social media. It could just be like Channel 3 or whatever local news station you have, and as soon as you turn it on, it's just some negativity, man. And you're just polluting your brain. You don't give your brain a chance to just be refreshed. It's like when you go to sleep, right? I would hope most of you brush your teeth before bed. Honestly, I ain't really start doing that till 2017 when I lost one of my wisdom teeth. I got tired of going to the dentist so much. But even, you brush your teeth, go to bed, and when you go to sleep, your mouth is just, over time you got the bacteria and the nastiness and the murkiness in your mouth. You don't wake up in the morning with the murky mouth. Well, a lot of people do this. This is ridiculous. But you don't wake up in the morning with the murky mouth and then just eat some food, eat a cheeseburger or just something that's bad for you, or eat some ice cream, whatever. Your mouth, it's already filthy. You want to clean out your mouth first. Put it in a position to be able to be effective, sanitary. And I think the same thing applies to your mind. You got all this negative stuff bombarding your brain all day, every day, up until you go to bed, right? So you wake up in the morning with all that nastiness and all that clutter and all that filth and all that garbage. The least you can do is give your brain a break and just put something positive in it. I know some people, they probably watch the videos or they see me streaming or hear me speaking in a positive manner. They think it's corny or they think it's phony, and that's okay because they just live in a reality where they just think it can't exist. They feel like they have no control over themselves or what happens to them in their existence. And a lot of times, you probably can't control every single thing that happens in your life, but it's a cliche, but you can definitely control how you respond to it, how you view it, how you see it. One thing I'm learning, just listening to a lot of philosophers, and I've listened to philosophers for a long time. I've really been heavy on the philosophy probably since 2011, but I've been going a lot harder lately and trying to apply the knowledge. A lot of us, we look at life or things that happen to us in life as things that happen to us. And we take things extremely personally. But when you start to see yourself as connected to the higher source, whether you want to call it God, Jehovah, Yahweh, universe, or what have you, and when you just see yourself as an extension of that, just experiencing different forms of reality, then you no longer take things as personal because you don't see things as happening to you. You just see yourself as an entity watching an experience. Like when you're watching something on television, things may emotionally move you here and there, but for the most part, it's TV, so you can separate yourself from the things that are going on. And I think mentally, that's what everybody should do in life. When things that they perceive as being bad are happening, don't look at, oh my God, this is happening to me. Just look at it as this is a lower form of your higher self just having this experience. And just take the experience in as much as you can and learn from it. Yes, it's going to be pain. Just like when you're watching a movie, like a scary movie or a romantic movie, it does strike certain emotions or what have you, but it's temporary. The movie eventually be over, it'll go to the next movie. Same thing with this life. This life is a movie. You're going to experience pain, you're going to experience sadness or what have you, but just like watching television, and that particular show is temporary. The feelings that you have, whether it's pain, whether it's sadness, whether it's sorrow, whether it's happiness, whether it's joy, it's all temporary. And you need not marry yourself to these emotions so much because they're always changing. It's fleeting. It isn't meant to be, and this is just my own personal opinion, it isn't meant to take so many things to heart, whether positive or negative in this world. It is to observe it and be like, yo, you know what, that's dope. Okay, I see what's going on. Like the other day I was working, right? Because I work for a welding company. I deliver all kinds of gases. Oxygen, argon, acetylene, helium, hydrogen, liquid nitrogen, liquid argon. I deliver all those things. I got my own personal truck, and you know what I'm saying? Like just going through the routines. I'm thinking like, yo, we all, like a lot of people that are gamers, we're so excited about GTA 6 coming out in May 26th of next year. And we get so excited about playing video games and stuff like that. But a lot of video games are limiting. You can't go in every building. You can't really do everything. No matter how much they try to simulate life, the video games are always limited. Then I was like, I was just having like this out of body experience. I was like, yo, this is like a video game. Like it really is. Like in a game, there's certain decisions you do and certain things that you do enhance the game's experience. Is that not the same thing in life? In the game, there's certain places you can't go because you probably haven't built the experience up. Is that not the same thing in life? The only difference in the game, I guess, like certain things just aren't developed. And there's certain places you can't go, like, you know, there's a limitation or a cap as far as where you can go. Those limitations don't exist in Earth in reality at all. The limitations only exist within inside your mind. But I was really thinking about it, like we playing these games, you know, video games and having fun and stuff like that. You could treat life the same exact way. It's just a game. And I forget somebody else said that. This isn't just my only thoughts or idea. But you got to start looking at life differently, man. Regardless of what you go through. Now, yes, I would say try to be as positive as a person as you can be to individuals if you want an optimal experience in life. We just need not take things to heart as much, man. And the physical life is so fleeting if you think about it. You know, I think they say the average human being on Earth, out of 8 billion people, they live about 65, but as of late, a lot of people are living a lot longer than that because technology is improving, medicine is improving, what have you. But for the most part, you're fortunate if you get about 80, 85 out of this, right? I'm 46, I'm about to say 40, no, I'm 46 years old. So 46, 56, 66, 76, 86. So that means by that, I probably got 35, 40 more years left on this physical existence, right? Now, before I became into this reality as Mo Green, or Quinn, as my family knows me, before I got, there was billions and billions and billions and billions of years that predated me in this physical form, right? Now, when I transition and go to whatever happens after, you know, because nobody really knows, I have an idea. I feel like I know, but it's not for me to tell people. It's for people to come to their own conclusions. And no, I don't believe in a heaven. And no, I don't believe in no eternal burning and damnation based on limited information and comprehension from people that are basically, essentially, monkeys as far as intelligence in the grand scheme of things, trying to teach other monkeys. You know what I mean? And I don't mean this in a racial sense. I just mean this in an intelligence sense, a sense of intelligence as far as religion. But it's just a video game. I was going somewhere and I lost my mind, but I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back. As far as you just can't take this too personally, man. Oh yeah, no, I remember where I was going. I remember where I was going. So let's say I'm fortunate to live like 80-something years. Before I got into this existence, before I shot out as a desire from my father's loins into my mother's loins, and I was incubated in my mother's loins. Before I got to that point, there were atoms and things that compose me that predates for billions of years. The atoms and things that nature that compose us are billions of years. And then life happens. And that only lasts about 80 years. And then after this life expires and my atoms and matter goes into whatever else and becomes whatever else, that's going to be billions and billions and billions upon billions of years. So physical life in the grand scheme of billion years is like a flash. Not even like a flash. That's giving it too much credit. Physical life, in comparison to the eternity of the universe, is so small. It's a number that can't even be measured. When you go to sleep at night, right, and you dream, they say if you sleep about 8 hours, you dream for about 20 minutes. So in your 8-hour sleep sequence, The part where you have brain activity, and I really believe that we're traveling to other dimensions when we're dreaming. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We're in such a meditative state that we're experiencing. I think that's the actual reality when we're dreaming. But that is relatively brief, that dream sequence. And then we wake up. Who's to say that life in reality, because it's so brief in comparison to the eternity of the cosmos, who is to say that this is a quote-unquote dream, this quick blip? Who's to say? Because it's so short. It is extremely short. If you hold on to the fact that this is the only thing that we have, this life, which I don't hold on to it, but I don't hold on to that at all. I'm just saying, as far as me, Mo Green, Quinn, this individual, this 80 years, which I'm more than halfway finished with, in the grand scheme of eternity, because you can't get something from nothing. That means everything was always here. It just transforms and changes. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. Matter can't be created nor destroyed. This is just a dream, man. Because it's so quick and it's so brief, and it's not to depress you or anything like that. It's not to make you feel despair or sadness. It's just to give you just a different perspective, so you're not so married to this physical existence. Because it's so short. Yes, it's wonderful. It's beautiful. I'm driving on the highway. I'm blogging. I'm looking at these trees. You understand what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. I ate my toast with my jelly and my butter. That's another thing. I don't eat really, really heavy breakfasts in the morning anymore. I don't eat as much as I do anymore. I don't eat the kind of things that weigh you down and bog you down as much the way I used to. But you got to raise your vibration. When you raise your vibration, you feel lighter. You know what I'm saying? When you feel lighter in weight, you feel like you can do more things, you can accomplish more, you have way more energy. Look at the cow. When you look at a cow, like its head is down to the earth, it moves mad slow, it looks depressed. And that's why a lot of vegans and vegetarians, like, I get it. Like, I feel like that's going to be the next stage of evolution. Like, eventually, I see myself becoming a vegetarian. I wouldn't say vegan. I like my cheese and like my ice cream, but maybe pescatarian, more fish, eating foods that are from animals that have a lot more energy, that move around, that fly, and you know what I'm saying? I see that, because when I eat burgers and steaks, I feel myself more bogged down and moving slower. And folks that know me know that I've been dealing with digestive issues for the past few years. And certain foods, I just can't, like, my body just doesn't break down like as much anymore. It's like, yo, you can keep eating this crap, but I'm going to give you a hard time taking a crap. You're going to be in pain. So if you want to continue with the pain, continue eating that nonsense. But if you want to go beyond that, you got to change your diet. And it only helps me because since I've started to change my diet, I've been losing weight. I've had way more energy. I have a job where I've got to drive 40 minutes every day to and fro, and I get up at 5 in the morning every day. I was never a morning person throughout my 20s and my 30s, man. When I was in college, I was the type of dude, like, when I first got into college, I was like, yeah, 6 a.m. classes. Then, you know, as the months go out, 7 a.m. Then I'm like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. classes. Man, it got to the point I was picking out classes 2 in the afternoon. Ridiculous. You can get so much more stuff done if you just get up early in the morning. We ain't missing nothing at night. And the thing is, if you got the right health and energy, you don't even need that much sleep. You can do so much, man, with your mind focus, bro. I'm a living testament to that. Not to sound religious. I know a lot of people already think I'm spiritual, like religious, Christian. I'm not. You know, I know how to take positive tenets from religious texts across the board. And it just so happens my wheelhouse is Christianity. I know a lot about Christianity, but I don't believe in it fully, totally. I take the meat, I spit out the bones. Eventually I want to study Islam. I want to study Buddhism. I want to study Hindu. I want to study everything, man. It all It all comes from some type of divine source. Depending on where you were born, that pretty much determines the religion that you are associated with. But just as I spoke about earlier in the conversation, you need not be so married to ideas and things you learn, things that happen to you. Look at it more as an observer as opposed to something that is happening to you. Look at it as you're watching television, but you can change the things that are happening on this television. You can change the channel. You can change the channel. Like, life, damn, this is just coming to me, and this is kind of brilliant, man. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but this is brilliant. Life is literally, your personal life is literally like a television with 1,000 channels. Infinite amount of channels. And whatever experience that you want in this life, it is a matter of changing the channel. Now, you could be watching this depressing show that got you bogged down and that got you sad, but you feel like, I can't turn the channel. I don't have a remote, or the battery's dead, or whatever. You just feel like you can't turn that channel. Yes, you can. If you want a different experience of what you are viewing in this life, change the channel. What is changing the channel? Doing different things. If you used to get up at 11 o'clock every day, changing the channel is getting up at 7 o'clock every day and seeing the different experiences from changing that channel, getting up earlier every day. If you are grossly overweight and you want to lose weight, and you're watching this TV program, you're watching this experience of life of just being grossly overweight, and you want that to change the channel. How do we change the channel of that experience that we're watching in life? By eating better, by working out, by going to the gym, by jogging. That's how you change that particular channel in life. There are infinite channels in this life that you can change to have different experiences that you're watching. If, let me think of something. Like, this is a channel that I changed in my life, man. I used to be an alcoholic. I was in denial of it because I wasn't the type of alcoholic that would get like pissy drunk to the point I don't remember. I blacked out a few times, but for the most part, I wasn't a person that blacked out every day, but I drank every single day before, I say June 1st, but it's really like June 6th or June 7th. But before like June 1st of 2019, if you ever saw me with a water bottle, a clear, because I always had the water bottle on me. If you ever saw me at a comedy club and you saw me with a clear bottle of water, that was not water. That was Tito's. That was Tito's, and usually I chill it in the freezer. You understand? Because alcohol doesn't really freeze in a normal freezer, and I would chill it in the freezer. You understand? Or I put like a frozen water half and have Tito's. And then when it came to me going to the comedy clubs, I had that bottle of Tito's right in my hand and sipping on it. But I saw, like, I was morbidly obese. I was almost like 280 pounds. I was eating fast food like crazy. I had high blood pressure, cholesterol, you know what I mean? I was pre-diabetic. They said my blood pressure was so high, it was stroke level. But I didn't even notice it because I was just living in that condition for such a long time. It was to the point where I would walk upstairs too quick and I would be out of breath. You know? But I had to change that channel. How did I change that channel? Stop drinking. There's an infinite possibility of channels that you can change to in this life just by simply doing different things. We have to see it as a metaphor because that makes you understand what you are doing. And it makes it seem not so challenging. That's why Jesus spoke in parables. That's why a lot of religious people, not just Jesus, they speak in parables and comparisons, because if they just say just regular words, I mean, you'll hear the words, but you appreciate the parable so much more if you can relate it to something that you do in everyday life. And then you see yourself as doing that. You're changing the channel. I used to never drink coffee. The taste is okay, but I know I'm not really a morning person like that. It gives me a little kick, and plus I have an oral fixation as far as drinking. I don't drink alcohol. This replaces that. Now, I'm not no savage coffee drinker that need like 10 cups a day, but in the morning, bam. got my coffee, and it's like a nice, warm, pleasant beverage. I've developed a good, decent taste and palate for it, so I can taste the difference between Colombian and Costa Rican, things like that, and regular Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I changed the channel. Now I have a different experience with my palate. Here's another one. This is more personal. Listen, I've been a man, whore, and single for a very long time. Lived a very lascivious lifestyle. 2023, I was the man. I cracked the code with women, and I just felt unstoppable. It's not even about me getting any woman that I want, but I can attract whoever I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Or pretty much, I did not have a problem with attracting women at all. I never have, but I just came to an epiphany in 2023 after using dating apps and getting my heart broken so much and going through Ringer so much. I just came to the conclusion, I don't have to chase women no more. I've proven it. I've smashed so much box. I came to the conclusion that, you know what? I actually want to get to know these people that I meet online, and I want to view them as friends first, as human beings. I'm not trying to hop into a relationship real quick. I'm not trying to smash. Yes, if the vagina presents itself, most straight men are going to be like, yeah, if it makes sense, they gonna make it do what it do. Once I had that mindset, it's like, it opened up I put it on my page and everything, because before that, I would put on my Facebook dating and all that. I would put, I'm just looking to hook up. I was like, Bucket, I just want to see all the hoes that's gonna hook up. And it happened there and there, but it's still like thirsty. For the most part, women don't like thirst. They like to be in control in the sexual realm, so you have to let them come to you. Once I changed that mindset that there's no pressure for sex, and there's no pressure of me trying to be in a relationship and just actually trying to have conversations and getting to know these individuals, the floodgates open, man. And I was just knocking them down left and right without even thinking about it. It was like 6 weeks in a row, I had 6 different women. And for me, the person that isn't accomplished, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't the most handsome, ain't the most in greatest shape. My boy Cliff was saying I was like Jordan, 6 in a row. But anyway, I've had the same girlfriend for the past year. It's like shortly after that, whatever I was exuding, whatever magnetism I had, I got myself a great woman. Accomplished, lawyer, you know what I'm saying? Just bought a house, travels all the time, doing great things, and completely supportive of me. She loves my comedy, and I love her laugh. That is a perfect synergy. But the thing is, I had to change the channel of just being a man whore and trying to chase buns or trying to chase a girlfriend. And it's funny because this woman, I actually matched with her in 2022. And I had her phone number, and we were speaking a little bit. And for whatever reason, she connected with somebody else. And shortly after that, I started dating somebody too. In the past 4 years, I've had 3 different girlfriends. All great women, you know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, the other 2 situations, we weren't ready. The respective parties weren't ready for that connection. And we all left on amicable terms. But this particular one stayed for a year, man. This is probably the second longest relationship I've ever had. I've dealt with women, the same women here and there, the same jump offs, whatever, flings, whatever, for years. Like, there's one that I've dealt with for damn near on and off. And the last time I dealt with was 2021, but from like 2000 and from a sexual standpoint, no. Yeah, from a sexual standpoint, from like 2003 to 2004 to 2021, like 17, 18 years. But somebody I've had a crush on and liked since I was like 12. But and the reason why that never really worked out, because it was just always poor timing. It was always poor timing every time I came across her. And I'll just leave it at that. It was always poor timing. Much love to her, though. But once I changed that channel, I changed that frequency. And that's exactly what channel, frequency, plane, whatever you want to call it. I started having a different life experience. You know, I've been chasing comedy for the past 11 years. That's a channel that I changed. I used to be a poet before that. Changed the channel, now I do comedy. I hate when people pass me on the right. That's just so rude. You know what I'm saying? In the past 6 or 7 years, like I've always had silly type jobs because I'm an artist. I've always been chasing, whether it's music, whether it's poetry, or what have you, comedy. So I've always gotten the type of jobs where I could kind of like come and go as I please, flex schedule, but I've never really built a legacy because of that. But now I've been doing comedy 11 years. I have a solid act. I know how to produce shows and things of that nature. And haven't gotten picked up or connected with anybody to go on tour. Basically, comedy is not paying all the bills. It pays some bills, don't get it twisted. Does not pay enough bills for me to only do comedy. I got a commercial driver's license. My girl was telling me like, yo, you gotta stop living like an immigrant. She has a great sense of humor. Put your license to full use and potential. Here I am commuting to Springfield. I just hit my 90 days at this particular job. Benefits kick in today. I make a decent wage. I mean, we can all stand to make more, but I make a much more consistent money. It's in the AM. I work from 7 to 7:30 to 4. Basically 8 to 4, but you know we got the half an hour break. I work 8 to 4, consistent 40 hours plus overtime. And I'm getting consistent day money. And because I don't drink, I don't have any type of habits. I got way more energy. So it's nothing for me to get up in the morning, do this job, and then go at night, do open mics. It's rough, it's a transition. But I'm a much more productive, optimal individual. Why? Because I changed several channels in my life in order to have this experience. I wanted a different experience, so I changed certain channels. Now I'm making more money. Now things are more positive. Now things are better. Now you're always going to hear whispers and people spreading rumors and negativity and things of that nature. But to me, that's like bad. Like if we're watching TV, that's like background stuff. And again, that's just a part of the experience. That's a part of this. When you watching a movie, you don't like, or watching a channel or what have you, you don't like every single aspect of the movie. There's some parts that make different emotions arise in you when you watch it, but you don't let those sometimes fleeting emotions define your experience. When somebody comes up to you and they say something like, oh, these individuals talk bad about you, so-and-so, such and such, and they're individuals that don't know you, that you've never had a direct experience about, they're not really talking about you. How could you really talk about or dislike somebody that you don't truly know, that you don't have an experience with? You don't like a construct inside your mind that you associate that person's face with. But if you've never had an experience with them, if you've never really had a direct interaction with them, and you so-called say you don't like them, you got some soul searching. You have some things that you have to deal with inside of yourself. You can't use that individual as a scapegoat to deflect from all the things that you have to get right in your life. You know, if you need some type of villain in life, especially when that person isn't doing anything to you, to me that says more about you than the individual that you are projecting your feelings on. So when I hear stuff like that now, I say, hey, more power to them. I hope they get the blessings and the comfort that they need in life. You know, if they see me as the quote unquote villain, I mean, that's their purpose. That's what they see me as. They're not going to hinder me. They're not going to stop my progress. I'm not going to take it personal. You know? And if progress is hindered, like if somebody is in a position of power to get you to a certain place and they use negative rumors about you to determine if they want to have dealings with you or help you out, then you don't need that type of person in your life anyway. That to me, that acts as a filtration system as far as who you should be dealing with in life and who you shouldn't be. I used to always say this whenever I meet chicks on dating apps. 1 second. My bad. I used to always say, like, whenever, this is a whole new stream, but I used to always say to myself whenever I would meet somebody, a chick or whatever, and like she stopped talking to me or whatever because of things that she heard without really experiencing me, I'm like, good, because I want somebody that's gonna give me the benefit of the doubt and give me a chance to express who I am, as opposed to like rhetoric and innuendos and rumors and things of that nature, you know? But hey, man, like, life is an experience to be observed, not to be taken personally. We are watching a television that is our life with an infinite amount of channels, or it's like a radio with an infinite amount of frequencies and stations. And if you want a different experience from that radio, if you want a different experience from that television, then it is as simple as changing the frequency or changing the channel to have a better experience. Another frequency change or channel change is if you always get riled up or overly emotional over relatively small, mundane things. Try to be slower to anger and watch your thoughts, watch your actions before you lash out and react to certain things. Hey, that's all I had to say. I know I play a lot of positive stuff in the morning, but sometimes, man, I'm gonna have to start rapping to y'all because I don't only listen to this stuff, man. I speak this stuff. I live this stuff. I'm at work like 2 minutes late, but I'm good though. I'm always on time. Peace.